I think the second round is always better.
So, long story short, this isn't our first rodeo. We actually recorded the whole thing just to realize it wasn't recording. I'm Talia.
Whoa, I don't know what you're stuttering for.
I'm Talia.
My name is Brittany Ray.
And this is our dad.
Hi, Dad.
Hi, Dad.
All right, guys. So you might be thinking to yourself, what are these two girls doing in a cemetery? Well, 2 years ago, our dad took a little journey to heaven. And, we're just visiting him today because we were just thinking to ourselves, like, how could we make today, which is obviously a sad day, and how could we turn this into
a legacy?
I feel like our energies and our mindset on things has changed a lot over the last 2 years. And, something that our dad, like a lot of the time when he was here, he was always kind of giving us that perspective of things are always going to work out and only good things can happen. And like that different kind of shift that a lot of the time I feel like it's our first instinct to be like, oh, of course that went wrong. What else is going to go wrong?
Yeah, and
now?
I hate that. You hear people say that all the time.
Like, it's that, there were things that our dad, like when he was here and he would act that kind of way, we would be like, okay, Dad. But now, like, we really, I think, look for that. And I feel like it's why we've changed and evolved so much, because not having him here to give us that answer, we could have either turned into people who were all just thinking the worst all the time. And I mean, losing your dad when you're young, like, that's a big part of your story. And it's really about how you take that and what you do with it going forward. I think that we have learned to look at the lessons and truly believe that there is like a divine hand in our journeys here.
We will do a whole separate episode like on grief. But I think that like being able to like whether it's for your siblings or for a friend or a parent, whatever, like being able to like step into that person.
I wouldn't be who I am at 28 years old if I didn't have to become this person. And I truly love the person I am today. And she's a much better person than 26-year-old Brittany, and I feel like it's because the characteristics from my dad that I was missing, I had to learn how to become that person and be that person for my sister or my brothers or my friends or my mom. We have to, like, when you lose somebody who's truly like the head of your family or such a big person in your family, like, you have to start to become that person for each other. And I think when we do have an episode about grief, like, I feel like Talia and I will have so much knowledge to share.
I also found the most comfort from people who I knew had lost somebody also, because I felt like maybe they really knew what I was going through. It's different. Like, it hits different when you hear somebody now say that they've lost their dad. Like, I feel it in my core.
Yeah. Talia and I give each other a lot of advice already, and I feel like we give each other really good advice. And I feel like we're also like a big advice people for the people in our lives. And I feel like we're gonna just like kind of emulate that through these episodes, and we'll have different topics. We'll have question portions that you guys can ask questions and you can get our opinion on how we would handle it or how we look at it. But I feel like we both give off this energy of like, we're gonna find the good in the bad. And it doesn't mean that the bad isn't a shitty situation and that you don't get to have your moment of being sad, because we've definitely had our moments of being angry, being sad. We've had our meltdowns, but I feel like on a regular basis, we like really truly live our lives moving forward, which is something that our dad always used to say. And he just had all these like little one-off quotes that I feel like are just such good like mantras to like live by. So this podcast is called The I World, and I want to give you guys like a background on this actually. So our dad's name was Ira, and hey Dad, and he would always say he lived in the I world, as in the letter of his first name. And
like, he was convinced the iPhone was like named after
the iPhone. He drove the i8. Everything was for him. And he truly embodied that feeling. And so when I was thinking about like how iconic that is and how it's truly like he was the king of manifesting without saying he was manifesting. Like I didn't even know he was manifesting, but he was.
It's the thing, like everyone was like, oh, playing these Esther Hick backgrounds in their audios in their reels. I'm like, bro, Esther raised me. Like, you don't get to try to claim Esther now. I dreaded listening to Esther in the car.
That's really what we should all be doing, right? We should all be living in our own version of the I world. It's the I can be for me. This is my world. And when you truly live your life knowing that I'm not just a victim to my circumstances, it's not just like, oh, life sucks. You control what your life looks like on a day-to-day basis. And yes, are there external factors? Are there things that might happen in your reality that were not part of your plan? Of course, but it's up to you how you look at it and how you're going to take that information moving forward and how you're going to let it affect your day and your life and like truly the DNA of who you are. I wish my dad was going to be here with me for all of the things in my life going forward, but in the same sense, I know he is. Like I know my dad is the reason my life is happening the way it is. Like my dad he's with us. He's right here. He's with us right now. Let's just put our arms over him. He's with us right now.
There's actually a picture of us. Insert now. Of us kissing him on the cheek.
But like we just like are like this all the time. Like oh my god, my whole story. Like should I tell the story again with the mug because it wasn't recorded?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So just to give you an example. So Talia and I were on FaceTime recently, like a month ago, and she was drinking out of this mug, and the mug has like a picture of like our nieces on it and my dad. And when she would put the mug down, it was just like his face. Every time. It would just be like his face in the corner. And like the first time she did it, I was like, Dad, what are you doing here? And then she kept doing it. And it was just so funny. Like, and that's truly like he's here with us, even if it's not in a physical way. Like spiritually, I really feel like he's guiding us. I feel like this is also like why we want to share this stuff with you and why we want to kind of have this podcast is like, I feel like Talia and I have really been a real support for each other, and not everyone has that. Like not everyone has like a big sister, a little sister to talk to, or, you know, a family member or friend who like just really gets it. And
is able to be what you need them to be.
Yeah. And like, I feel like that's what we're trying to do with this podcast is give you that perspective that's going to be the thing that's going to make your life better. We're going to give you a perspective that's going to make you like, okay, that is how I want to look at it. And it takes a little bit of like brainwashing
and brainwashing and work.
But in the long run, like you really will become like, we're hoping to have a little duplication effect. Like the people that we've become, which I feel like we're really like good energy for the people in our lives. Like we're going to duplicate that now. You're going to get it and then you're going to give it to someone else. Then they're going to give it to someone else.
It's like a virus. It's like the new COVID-19 covert.
Covert. That's what our dad called it. Covert. He was in my dream last night, you know.
Really?
Yeah. And I think he was like bossing me around.
He was a boss for sure.
He was, I think, bossing me around, but like he can boss me around because he's showing me the right way.
Yeah.
Boss, show me around, boss.
Okay, boss baby. Pop off.
Show me around, boss.
Yeah. I feel like we are going to be able to be your guides.
We're going to be your Ira.
Yeah. Like maybe you didn't know him, maybe you did. And either we are the continuation or we are the new. And all you have to do is just believe. This podcast is not just your one-on-one podcast. You might not even know what you're going to hear when you turn this podcast on.
Yeah. We could be talking about jujitsu or we could be talking about makeup.
Yeah. You really don't even know.
We could be crying. We could be laughing.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, we're going to be your sisters.
Hi, sisters. James Charles said we could rebrand it, and he doesn't want it anymore.
He actually did say,
"Oh no, Dad!
Dad!"
Her tripod fell.
Oh no, Dad! Don't
so
do
that's
that.
Also my favorite thing to do with everything. It's because you don't have it down all the way. Like you don't have it like
you set it up.
No, you put the tripod up. Look, look at the middle of it.
Okay, don't yell at me.
It's not stable.
I'm just your sister. That's all.
What was I gonna say? You
Guys,
just need to be like,
let's normalize going to the cemetery and just like chilling with your dad, like, and having a laugh.
Let's normalize just being in the car and just being like, hey, Dad. Like,
let's normalize, like, if you can't call up your dad, being like, is this a direct line to my dad? Thank you.
Hey, Dad. Like, it's just it's just a vibration.
Don't need to be in reality.
Yes, that's also something that I said, but maybe I can clip that in from last thing. I hope it's not too windy for the mics, because I see you doing this.
Only good things happen to us.
Only audio is clear.
Uh-oh.
Oh no, not the wind.
We're entering a windstorm, but it's going to calm down in 5,
Four,
4, 3,
2,
2, 1. Thanks,
I know,
Dad.
You'll see somehow the world. You know, that's what I thought we were going with together. And
Okay, do you want to harmonize?
Oh, she loves a good harmony, Brittany. People might be driving by and be like, these bitches are laughing with their dad right now.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm laughing with my dad.
He wouldn't. Let me tell you something about my dad.
He was never sad a day in his life.
No. I only saw my dad cry one time in his whole life at his mom's funeral.
So your memory goes back that far?
I remember seeing that. I remember looking over at him at the funeral and seeing like a little. It was not like my tears. My tears are like thick, like, you know, like a normal tear. His was like a little squiggle, and it was like that.
How old were you?
I was young, like in elementary school, I think.
And I was maybe like 2 or 3.
You were so young. I don't know, but I remember seeing him cry there. But like, I had gone to like his best friend's, who what we called uncle, his funeral, our Aunt Rhonda's funeral. You know, I've been to other funerals with him, and he never cried, and he was always the person who was like cracking
Lifting
jokes.
up.
Like, I remember being at my Uncle Augie's funeral and people laughing, and my dad was like kind of like the person inciting it and being like, why are they laughing? And my mom being like, you know, you want to like celebrate their life and they wouldn't want you to be sad. And I really think that is like the epitome of our dad. Like, the last thing, I'm telling you, the last thing he wants is for us to be sitting here crying about him. I know that. Yeah. He wants us to be living our best lives moving forward.
This knowledge isn't only helpful if you lost somebody. It's just a way to shift your life. Like, it's a way to shift. Maybe like you're a little depresso, or maybe like, you know, it doesn't feel like things are working out for you, and it just, you're not.
Maybe you're looking
aligned.
to like, yeah, get into that alignment and like be the version of yourself you're supposed to be here for. And that's a decision. Like, that's a choice.
Yeah.
We have very, like, we're so similar, me and Talia, but we also are very different. Talia is definitely a little bit more abrasive than me. I'm definitely a little bit more. Listen, we have a 6-year age difference. Like, we've gone through different things at different times in our lives, and part of it is like, I am the big sister, you're the little sister, but sometimes you're the big sister for me if I need it. Like, we definitely, there's a lot to unpack here in a great way. But at the end of the day, the one thing I can promise that you will get from listening and tuning in with us is that you are going to become the best version of yourself. And we are going to make sure that you leave each episode feeling like fulfilled and feeling good. Like, you guys, you know, when you get off an episode of a podcast and you're like, wow, I needed that today. That is like, I feel like we can be like that for each other, whether it's like on FaceTime or when we see each other. So like, we just need to spread more of that. Even though this podcast is not about our dad, it seems only fitting he was our special guest for our first episode.
He stemmed this. Not only did he create us, but he
stem cells.
Yes, he stem cell regeneration into us.
Yeah.
But I really think that we should just do a segment of you're who you are, blah 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 blah.
Yes.
So who are you?
I'm Brittany. I'm 28 years old. We both live on Long Island, but we don't live together anymore. And I am your manifestation girl. I'm all about manifestation. I am a business owner. I work in social media, so this feels familiar, but also this has been something I wanted to do for a while. It's like just connect on a first name basis with you guys. And that's pretty much me. I have 4 little dogs, and that's me. I am I don't know what
keep
to
going,
say.
ma'am. Speak your truth.
I don't know. Maybe it's better to tell. Well, you go you, and then we could say if we forgot anything about the other person.
Oh, you mean like telling about the other person?
Yeah.
Oh, we should do that too.
Good.
Okay. My name's Talia. I am
22.
bold. What?
You're 22.
Oh, I'm Talia. I am 22 years old. I am I am your mother. You'll listen to me.
You're a jujitsuer.
Yes, I am a Brazilian jiu-jitsu practitioner.
Oh.
Period. No, but don't let it fool you. I do love a good beauty guru moment.
You also have a cat and a dog.
Oh my God, my children. How could I ever forget?
I think we should tell the audience here what to expect about the other person. Like, what do you think you're gonna get from the other person? I can go first.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh no.
So, what you guys can expect from Talia, I think, is the unapologetic, just first impression answer. She is, like she said, she's bold. She's not scared to say it how it is. Might be a little hard to hear. Something that is good about Talia is
no, the first that wasn't good.
So something about Talia is that she's not gonna back down. Like, she's not gonna be like for me, for example, not saying I back down, because I definitely can like make my point, but you could convince me a little bit of your point. Talia is very much like, no, this is how it is. Like, this is it. Like, don't let other people try to skew you, blah, blah, blah. So she's going to say it how it is. She's going to give you the truth, and in a fiery fashion. But I feel like Talia is also very much in her self-care era. She's very much into like just self-care. Definitely has a soft side. I don't know if we see the soft side very much, to be honest, but maybe we will. I feel
Maybe
like
if we get close enough.
When we do the podcast, I feel like a lot of the kind of like day in the life kind of vibe, like things to do in your daily life, come from her. Like, she likes that kind of self-care kind of podcast. And it's so funny because even though you're the more fiery personality, I'm the more fiery podcast like listener. I feel like I'm more like intention.
Yeah, no, I like to
and
the podcast.
She's more peaceful.
Yes, the podcast I like to listen to. I do want to take bits of that. I don't want that to be everything, but like I love the like glow up podcast.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you could tell me the same. They could be literally saying the same exact thing over and over, and I'm just like, yeah, it's like I've never heard that before. This is like revolutionary. Yeah. What I think you can expect from Brittany is she is truly emulates big sister energy. She is not really like in the unapologetic field. She's almost the opposite. It's almost like no judgment.
This is a no put down zone.
She's going to see it from your side. I think that she is definitely experienced in the, like I said, like she said, manifestation part of things, and really like really like the guidance of that, and like not the guidance, the principles of that.
We're gonna get you in touch with your soul.
Yeah, like she really is good with that. And she truly is an energy not to be fucked with. You could always count on her to hype you up with something. So like if you did something and you're excited about it, like you got a new car, like she's going to make you truly feel good about each and everything that is exciting, and make the things that could be not exciting. She is very, very, very good with that. Like I don't even necessarily like the word like hype woman. Like I feel like that's too 2016. I feel like it's just you're like what's a different word for hype?
Good vibes.
Good vibes. It's always good vibes.
Exciting.
Like unless she's in her slow motion era, which I hope you guys never have to see that, when she's literally like that's literally what you do.
This is the beginning of something super special, and I'm just so thankful to my dad for bringing us together as sisters. All of us.
Oh no! Go through a couple of things about him. He was the dog father, so that hence the shirts in the intro. Yep. Beloved husband. He truly was probably the best husband ever.
Best husband.
Like truly was
husband goals.
Literally obsessed.
Yeah, like to a point where he would like. I remember saying to him one time, like, "Who do you love more, like me or mommy?" And he was like, "Mommy."
He didn't even hesitate.
Devoted father. He
truly.
Was. You know, he took parenting classes.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But I think that's so iconic, and it takes a lot to like. He used to say, "Your ego is not your amigo," and that's something that I love sharing. Even that does play a big role into. Like my jujitsu, because it's like a big thing, like putting your ego aside. And that's a little phrase that he had so many little phrases that you guys will learn along the way. But
proud grandpa,
dedicated sponsor. For those of you who don't know, he never kept it a secret that it was not anonymous.
No,
he was
wasn't
in
anonymous.
he was in AA before
for like 30 years.
yeah, before our time, before knowing him. And I think that also helped a lot with like his spiritual journey and all of that knowledge that he has.
And really, what we need to leave you with tonight, all is well under the heavens, and you get to decide that. You get to decide today, right now, that I'm gonna live my life moving forward in the best way possible, and
that it's never too late to turn your day around.
Mm-hmm. Thank you guys for tuning into our first episode.
Yes,
this is not going to be our studio. Do a good deed today and tag us.
Yes, at hashtag, what is it? The
I World.
Hashtag the I World.
And you can send us a DM on our Instagram with questions that you want us to talk about and answer on the next pod.
We're leaving on a high note.
Cheers. Love you.
Oh I love an ice cold hot drink.
I love chocolate milk. Bye.
Bye.